A very warm good evening, everyone. Welcome to this session on CUT UG 2025, brought to you by iDreamCareer. I am Samarth, your host, and today we'll be doing this session to understand, how one can fill the application form, what all mistakes to avoid, and a lot more. So I have here with me Miss Ojsvi Sharma. She is a career counselor here at iDreamCareer. And without further ado, I would like to hand over the session to her. And just to mention that any of you can, uh, add your queries on the chat box. Ujasvi will be answering them from time to time. So feel free to ask any questions and we'll answer at the earliest. So over to you, Ujasvi, and let's begin.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Samarth. Thank you so much, everybody who has joined. I am not sure how many participants are there yet, but thank you so much, everyone who has taken out the time and is here today. A very good evening to all of you. Like Samarth mentioned, I'm a career counselor. I have been a career counselor for the last 3 years, and I have been associated with the field of education for about 5 years. I have done my master's degree in psychology, and that's how I'm here. That's how I have landed up in the career counseling space. Once again, thank you so much for joining. Now, I do understand, and this is a personal experience because I work with students on a daily basis and I have seen a lot of, confusion, a lot of doubts, a lot of chaos around CUET and around understanding what exactly is it, how to fill the form, what is required, what is not required. So far, we were waiting for guidelines from Delhi University and some other central universities as well. I hope all of you are aware Delhi University has released its notification and guidelines for this year. So has Jamia, and so has a lot of other central universities like BHU, etc. as well. Although some of the universities we're still waiting on, like Ambedkar University, last I checked, which was yesterday, they did not have any guidelines as of yet. So if you can, if Ambedkar University or universities like these, which have not released their guidelines yet, are something that are on your list to look out to apply for, then I would recommend waiting a few more days before finally submitting your application. So please do not rush the application process. Do not jump into it with with the feeling that this is it. If you don't fill it now, you won't have the chance. Your last dates, deadlines are still available. You will be able to fill the form till 22nd. So don't worry about that. And give it some time if your universities on your list have not released their notifications yet. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. And please feel free to ask any questions, doubts, concerns, anything that you have, like Samarth has already mentioned. Please feel free to drop your questions in the chat box below, and I'll take it up as we go along. And don't worry, you can interrupt in between, you can drop your questions in between, and we'll take those questions up. Okay, so in today's session, just for a brief, for those of you who are already here to understand what all we are going to be talking about, there are a lot of changes that CUET has come up with this year, as they do almost every year. We are still finding our balance here with, I think so is the, governing bodies for CUET and all. So there are a lot of changes this year, which we will be discussing very briefly. And then about CUET 2025 itself, what are the important dates? What are the links? What exactly is CUET? Why is it important? All of that. We will be briefly talking about the application process. I'll walk you through all the steps of the application because I understand, and my own students, if they have joined in here today, I'm really glad if you are here. Thank you so much for being here. They're also facing a lot of trouble with these application processes. So in those cases as well, I will be walking you through the whole application process. And then of course there is the examination. What is the exam pattern like? What is the marking scheme? All of those. What are the important tips for the exam? If there is any other related relevant information, all of that we'll be discussing. And we are briefly talking about some universities and university related requirements. Like I had just mentioned, some of the universities have come up with their brochures and information bulletins like DU or Jamia and other some universities. Okay, so starting with previous norms versus the latest changes. Um, for those of you who have given CUET last year as well, or if your siblings, seniors, any of your family, friends, or anybody has given CUET last year, they would tell you, or you would know that there were 6 subjects, up to 6 subjects that a student could select. So minimum can be around 3 or 4 subjects. 4 is usually recommended. It is something that I also recommend, that a lot of universities, including DU, also recommends, because 4 subjects give you the flexibility to have 3 domain and one language subject. I'll again, too many terms being thrown at you. I understand all of that clarity you'll get further into the session. So earlier till last year, you were allowed to up to 6 subjects, which was one language. If you want to do a general aptitude, that and then 4 domains with that. But now from this year onwards, there are 5 subjects that will be available only. Maximum up to 5 subjects a student can select. Now, this year, the exam will be strictly and exclusively conducted only in the CBT mode, which is a computer-based online assessment. Online test will be conducted. Now, this in no way means that you'll be sitting at your home and giving the exam. You will get your admit cards. You will have to go down to the centers. You'll have to give the exams there. The only thing is that the exam will not be pen and paper. Only computer systems per your exam will be conducted. So if you are somebody who does not have the experience of giving computer based exams, or if you have not done something like that before, please make sure you're practicing that out. And a tip for you, NTA's website also provides you mock tests for computer based assessments, right? So you can just visit the website and do a computer based assessment mock, right? uh, Earlier, till last year, we used to say for CUET or for any other exam for that matter, if you studied the subject in 12th, then you can give the exam for this particular subject. But from this year onwards, CUET has completely changed that, which is we are entering a new era of education. This was done under, keeping guidelines of new education policy into mind. So even if you have not studied a subject in 12th grade, you can still give the subjects exam in your CUET. So say, for example, you have not studied mathematics in 12th, 11th and 12th, you can still sit for CUET maths or applied maths exam. This in no way guarantees that you will get admission in a BSc mathematics program or not. Okay, because the admissions will be done by universities and colleges, and you'll have to check the university's eligibility requirement. Like, for example, if DU says you want to study BSc in mathematics, you not only have to have maths as a subject in CUET, but also have to have studied mathematics in 12th as well. So does similar kind of guidelines PHU also gives. So this is the tricky part which you need to understand. Just because CUET is giving you the option or the opportunity to sit for any subject, irrespective if you have studied it in 12th or not, does not mean in any way that the university will accept the score as equivalent to your 12th grade. Okay. Also, another thing, understand it is difficult. Okay. You've studied a certain set of subjects till 12th. It is difficult to study a completely new subject altogether in the next 2 months, 3 months to prepare for that subject 12th grade level and then sit for the exam. So keep this thing in mind. Just because the CUET has given you the opportunity does not necessarily mean you have to take subjects beyond your 12th grade. Apart from that, earlier the number of questions varied from subjects to subject. Also, the timing of the test also varied from subject to subject, right? Like physics and mathematics exams used to have more time versus a history or a geography exam. Now the timing is standardized, 60-minute paper all across. English would be 60-minute, history, geography, pol science, you name it. All subjects would be 60-minute, including the general aptitude test as well. If you're sitting for GAT, which is the general aptitude test, then you will have standard 60 minutes for all. And the number of questions has also become standard across all papers. You will have 50 questions in no matter the subject you're sitting for, 50 questions in 60 minutes. Earlier, there used to be some option questions as well, if you want to do this or this wale options. But now all questions will be mandatory. There will be no option questions, 50 questions, all mandatory, right? Subject list has been reduced to 37 subjects instead of 63 subjects, which is a big cut down. But you do not have to worry, because this cut down has mostly been done in language area. Okay, so पहले बहुत सारे languages के options थे. Now they have reduced it to I think 12 or 13 languages in total. So mostly cut down language section में से हुआ है. So subject list has been reduced. If you have started filling the form or if you have filled the form, you would have seen the list of subjects is much lesser this year. All right, I'll take just a second's pause because I know that's a lot of information to get in what, like 5 minutes. So if Samarth, if we can check if there are any questions, any concerns that have come up, or are we
So
good to go?
yeah, we're good to go. No,
Okay.
if there are any questions, just you can put it in the chat and we'll take it up.
Yep. All right, great. Okay, so about CUET 2025, CUET, which is the Common Universities Entrance Test, the exam conducting body is NTA. NTA has been given the responsibility, which is National Testing Agency, to conduct CUET 2025. So applications, of course, are also going through NTA only. This Common University Entrance Test is important, and why is that? Is because it gives you a way, it opens up doors for you to get into not only central and state government colleges, but also a lot of private institutes across the country are also accepting the CUET scores. So keep that in mind, that CUET scores will become much important in this case. Now, I do have a few questions here and there that are are CUET scores accepted for BTech or some courses which are specific to other entrances? Depends from university to university. For example, Delhi University has a BTech course, which is IT and MI. Now, for that particular course, you have to give CUET only. Similarly, for some specific other private universities, they are also accepting CUET score for their BTech courses, but not all universities will accept that. For example, Jamia Millia Islamia, they still accept JE scores. A lot of other private universities, even government institutions, are accepting JE scores only. So to be on the safe side, if you are looking at courses which already have a national level exam, say for example, engineering or architecture or something like that, then give those national level exams as well, plus CUET too. CUET one opens up the domain, because if let's say you're scoring better in CUET than JE, then those specific private colleges or a few government ones which are offering BTech under CUET, those will definitely open up for you. So that's one great thing about it. Second, you always have to keep backups. I cannot emphasize on this enough. We can never be sure when it comes to national level exams, because the competition is tough. The amount of students that are sitting, that's like competition is getting rigorous every single year. So you have to be prepared accordingly. So in that case, you have to have backups. So let's say, again, I'm taking this example. Let's say you wanted to do law. So you would have given the CLAT exam, but also through CUET, you would be able to apply to BA political science or a BA in, history, or a BA in geography or other areas like that. So those options also open up for you. So these will become your backup options. So CUET is, again, an important exam if you're looking at any of the central state universities and some private universities as well. I have attached some very important links over here towards the end of this session. If anybody needs to go through these links, you can let me know. I can just walk you through these links as well. Samarth, if it will be all right for us, we can paste these links in the chat box as well for students' reference. I can,
Sure.
right? We can put these links in the chat box.
Yes, we'll also add them to the description, so you'll get them soon.
Yes. Okay, great. So understand, these are the things that you need to know. These are the links, important links that you need to go through to be able to understand what you are filling and how you are filling the form. First and foremost, the information bulletin is important. Please make sure you have downloaded the official information bulletin from the NTA website regarding CUET. Then, of course, the application forms where it is being submitted, it is on the NTA website. Participating university list is important. You need to know what you are getting yourselves into, which universities are opening up for you, what kind of courses you are getting yourselves into, right? And then the syllabus for the exam as well. All these important links will be in the description of this video, or we can paste them in the chat box too. Right. Then these are the important dates. If you have not gone through them yet, please make sure that 22nd of March is the last date for online submission of application. 23rd of March is the last date for final last transaction. The last call ekdam is the 23rd March, right? Correction window will open from 24th to 26th March. Now, guys, a lot of students have asked me, have already filled the forms. They were not aware. By the time DU had not released its circular and all of that. So a lot of students have asked if they can make corrections in the subjects. On the official brochures, it says that you can correct your personal credentials like your name, your educational detail, etc., etc. Till last year, uh, as per my discussion with one of my students from the previous year, uh, there was an option to change the subjects as well, but it is not written anywhere officially as of yet. No need to panic. We are hopeful, but I would still recommend that there are phone numbers, helplines, and email IDs on the NTA website. Write to them irrespective. If you think you need subject changes, we are hopeful 24th to 26th March ke beech mein you will be able to change subjects. But irrespective of that, on the official mail IDs, please still drop your emails as well. Date of the examination, it's still tentative. We are not sure on that. It will be somewhere between 8th May to 1st June. So prepare accordingly. Get your things in order, start preparing whatever needs to be prepared for. Then, of course, this is what the fee detail looks like. We can just pause here for a quick second. You all can just briefly go through it. Of course, the fee structure changes depending on which category you are in. And this is what the fee structure will be like.
Yes, Ojsvi. So now we have a few queries.
Okay, sure.
You can decide whether to answer them now or
Yeah, sure,
later in
sure.
the discussion. So one question is, I've given my CBSE board examinations in mathematics only, but for CUT, there are two exam papers. One is mathematics and another is applied mathematics. So would I have to study separately for applied mathematics? This is question number one.
Okay, so can I answer this and then we move on to the next one? Yeah.
Sure.
So there are two subjects under CBSE, which is mathematics and applied mathematics. If you have studied maths in 12th, I would suggest give maths paper only. Applied mathematics is usually helpful to students who are planning to go for commerce related subjects. But again, like I just said, you'll have to check with the universities. Like Delhi University specifically says that they're only accepting the scores of subjects that you have studied in 12th. So if DU is something that you're aiming for, I would suggest fill mathematics, not applied mathematics. Okay, they are two different subjects. And again, preparation, of course, will be different for both of these subjects, right? We can move on to the next
Yeah,
question.
so the next question is for journalism, I have read English plus general aptitude or English plus three domain subjects. My question is that if I give English, my question is whether English and general test would be sufficient. So this is more relating to, subject selection again. So,
I'll answer this question when we get to subject selection as well, but just to briefly, mention this here, I would recommend you taking at least 4 papers in CUET. Simple reason being, if journalism does not work out, do you have a backup? Are there other courses, other subjects that you're looking forward to, right? English and general aptitude is compulsory, but 2 more subjects is something that I would recommend. So rest about general aptitude, English, and the importance of it, I'll cover when we get to the subjects part. Any other questions, Samarth?
no, we're good to go
Okay.
now.
All right, great. So moving on, these are the broad features of the of CUET of the exam that you're planning to sit for. Like I said, now the subjects are 37 subjects, 13 languages, as I was saying earlier, out of 37 subjects, 13 are language papers, as in 13 options to pick, right? 23 domain specific subject options and 1 general aptitude test is available. Understand one thing, that the languages that have been removed from the language section, they can still be taken up, as in you can still, let's say, for example, if under languages, Chinese is not an option for you to sit for the exam, you can give the general aptitude test instead, and then you will be eligible to do a BA in Chinese or a bachelor's in that particular language. So again, we'll get to that point when we get to the subjects. Like I said, 37 total subjects. Medium of the paper, we have multiple languages, 13 Indian languages. Paper will be available in. Under syllabus, I would suggest, we were just talking about the link, which will be shared with all of you as well. There is a separate link for syllabus as well, where there is specified syllabus for every single subject. Please make sure to go through that link. Check syllabus, although CUET says that that their syllabus is in tune with NCRTs, but still it is your responsibility to check if there is any other topic, any other subtopic, any other domain that you need to prepare for. All right. Choice of paper, I have already mentioned that you can choose up to 5 exams. It is recommended you keep at least 4, at least 4 exams you give. Marking scheme would be +5 and -1. Understand one thing, students usually miss this, that -1 ही तो हो रहा है. If तुक्के से भी अगर सही हो गया तो एटलीस्ट 5 marks मिल जाएंगे, -1 ही तो हो रहा है. Understand, it says -1, but you technically lose 6 marks. Okay, so that's a big hit. -1 means the marking of the question that was there, which was 5 marks, and plus additionally -1. Okay, so that's 6 marks that you lose. Test will be held in computer-based mode, and there will be 50 questions. All of the questions will be compulsory, and you'll have 60 minutes to complete the exam. Complete each of the exams. Again, one more confusion that I often hear students asking about is, will all the tests be combined in one test? No. If you are filling 4 subjects, 5 subjects, 3 subjects, you will have 3 separate exams or 5 separate exams. Like your board date sheets, you will get a date sheet and you'll have to sit for every single exam separately. And each one of these exams will have 50 questions that will need to be done in 60 minutes. I hope I'm making myself clear. Okay. Now for CUET 2025 application, this is the official website, cuet.nta.nic.in. This is where you go to find all the information that we've been talking about so far. Apart from that, there is no age limit for CUET. So if you are somebody who has completed school long back and you still want to get into graduation, do CUET, give CUET exam, please feel free to do so. You have to have 12th or 12th equivalent passed or appearing in the upcoming exams, or 12th, to be sitting in this exam. So if you're a 10th or an 11th grade student, you cannot. Of course, 12th, either you're giving the exams or you have completed the exam. Then you can, right? Again, like I said, that there is no age bar, that CUET, anybody can give the exam, but university specific requirements you will have to check on your own from your required university websites. Your application process has 4 steps to it. First step would be the registration form. You will visit the portal and then it will ask you to, register yourself as a new user. And that will generate your application number, a system generated application number you will get. You'll have to keep this application number with you from now onwards, because every time that you log in, you'll have to put this application number in. This is where you will make your password, you'll set your password as well. Then the application form itself, where you'll have to put in all the personal information, educational details, all, city preferences, test preference, all of that information will go there. Then there is fee payment, and then the confirmation page, which you can download and keep for future reference, right? These will be the important documents that you're going to need for this particular application. Please make sure these documents are ready in this particular requirement already before you sit down to fill your application, right? There are specifications, as in what the file size for photograph, what the file size for signature should be. And not just that, from this year, there is also the name of the file that matters as well. If you would see here, photograph has to be named a specific way. Similarly, candidate signature file has to be named a specific way. And also, if you are from PWD category, if you have the certificate of PWD, this is the disability certificate. If in case you have this, then you have to put that certificate as well. And there are specifications for that over here as well. Now, starting with the steps of the application process, I'll walk you through the whole process itself. Like I said, registration for new candidates. This is the website over here. Registration for new candidates will happen on this website, and you can click on new registration over here. Once you click on new registration, first of all, an instruction page will open up. Please read the instructions carefully. Make sure you're not missing out on points. I understand you're sitting in this session so that you can get all your answers, so you can fatafat fill your forms. But even then, there are a lot of times when we are listening to somebody, we might zone out, we are missing out on a certain information. Make sure you're reading all the instructions carefully before moving forward. Okay. So this instructions page is important. You can also on this page itself, you can download the information brochure as well. Then you'll have to fill in your personal detail, your name, father's name, mother's name, all of the personal detail goes in here, and you get to choose your password at this stage. Okay. Make a strong password, also something that you can remember, keep the password safe, all of that, all of those things. Please make sure you're doing that. And you can click on submit. I'm so sorry, just 1 second. Hi, I'm so sorry for the interruption. We were, sorry. Just a second. I think my screen is stuck. I'll have to stop sharing and sharing. Okay, I do hope my screen is visible once again.
Yes, Jaspreet, yes.
I'm so sorry for the interruption. We were talking about the personal detail and the personal information that you'll have to fill in here, and then you get to set your password. And after that, this will be the review page where you confirm that all the information that you have filled in, you just check all that information, you make sure that the information is correct, and then you review it once, and you can click on close here. Then the next step would be that you will be verifying your phone number. So a OTP would be sent to your phone number, whichever phone number you have registered in this application, and you'll have to put that in over here. And then, like I said, this was the first step, which was the registration. Now you have your application number over here. If you can see 2535, this becomes the application number and the password that you have set in. So every next time that you'll have to log in, you come back to this page, you click on login over here. And once you do, it will again ask you for your application number and the password that you had created. You'll put both of those over here and you would be logged in, and it will start showing you the application status where you are right now. So far we have only registered our contact details. The rest of the details now need to be filled in, right? Then you'll complete all your personal, again, of course, on the application status, you have seen what needs to be done now, what else needs to be filled in. So you'll complete all that information. All those personal credentials will be filled in over here. Then you'll have to give a identification type. Now, please make sure whatever identity you are providing, if it is Aadhaar card, PAN card, if you are somebody who's older than 18, then driving license in that case, or any other for that matter, please make sure that it is updated. It has your updated photograph, your recent address, your full name, because a lot of times we see students, they struggle that their 10th mark sheets have different names versus their Aadhaar cards. In case if this has happened, please make sure that your Aadhaar cards or whichever ID proof you're attaching over here, it can also be any other ID proof out of all the options that are over here. So make sure that it is an updated ID proof. After that, it also asks for APAR ID. Although this is not a mandatory field, you can click on no over here and move forward as well. Now understand what APAR is. I'll quickly just tell you. APAR is basically the permanent academic record. Now from last year onwards, actually, under the new education policy, we are moving into the credit system world, where our credits can be transferred from one college to another, one course to another, one specific certification to the next one, and all of that. So to be able to convert, to be able to transfer these credits or convert from one to another, institute or course and all of that, APAR IDs would be required. Okay. If you don't have a APAR ID right now, that's fine. There's no worries about it. You can just, like I said, click no, move on. In case if you want to create an APAR ID, because masters and all, it will be helpful in that case when you'll apply for your masters. Then you go to your DigiLocker, and over there you will find all the information to apply for one and get one APAR ID. All right. Then after that, your test paper subject selection window opens up. Now this is where this is what the important window is. Again, I'm reiterating, maximum 5 subjects can be chosen. Minimum you can do 3 or 4 subjects as well. But please do keep 3, 4 subjects. Don't just go for 2 subjects or 1 subject alone, because as many subjects as you will have options, or you'll be eligible for much more courses out there. So please make sure you're doing that. Okay. And even if DU, you will see for a lot of courses, they say language plus 2 domain subjects, or language plus 3 language, 2 domain and a general aptitude, or language plus 3 domain subjects. So a lot of universities, most of the universities will ask you to have at least 4 subjects, at least, in your CUET exam. So that is what I would also recommend to you. Right. So this is over here. You can do your test paper and subject selection. And after that, medium, which medium you'd be giving your exam in, and your exam center preferences, which state or which city, which exam city you would prefer to have. Right. You can put all of that over here. Then it asks for your parents' qualification details and all of that as well. You can put that. Then your own qualification details have to go in here. Please make sure your 10th information, you're putting appropriate information on your 10th class mark sheets, your CGPAs, if again, it has an option if you have the marks in CGPA or percentage, or which way you have your marks in. So you can pick that and then put your marks accordingly. Your roll numbers have to be put in properly, school's name, which district the school is in, all of those information has to be put properly for 10th class. For 12th, of course, you will put, if you are a 12th grade student right now, you will put appearing. So then the rest of the drop downs will not open up for you. You will not ask you for marks or anything. But if you will put in that you have passed the 12th grade, you've completed 12th grade, then you'll have to again put in all the information, your marks and everything about 12th grade as well. Then it asks for some additional details too. If you are twins or both of you are applying, all of this information has to be put in over here. Emergency contact detail, any of your parents or any guardian's number, contact information can be shared over here. It will also ask for authentication on that emergency contact as well. So whoever's emergency contact you have put in, please make sure that you're putting somebody as an emergency contact jinse aap OTP le sakein, because you'll have to put both email and mobile number, and your emergency contact will receive OTPs on both. So please make sure of that. Then this is the document upload area. Like I said, there are specifications, size is specified, minimum size, maximum size, the name of the document, which way it has to be. Also, there are specifications for the photograph, like both of your ears should be visible in the photograph, face should be without the mask, right? And photo should have 80% of you rather than a lot of background. So it should be you more than the background. All of that detailed information we have shared in the beginning, and you'll find it over here when you are submitting your documents finally as well. Then this is the review page. This gives you the one more chance to review everything, all the information, all the details. If there is something that you have missed, if there is some information that needs to be changed, all of that, please make sure you're properly in detail, in depth, you're checking every single information out before hitting submit. Okay. Once you do, then it asks you to verify your email. You have verified your phone number in the very beginning, remember. Email has not been verified earlier, so it will ask you to verify your email first before moving forward. You do that, and then the examination fee, pay the fees option opens up for you here, right? After you have paid the fees, of course, the confirmation page will come in and you can download your confirmation page, keep it safe with you for any future references. This page will have your application number, all your information, all the details, and all the information will be available over here. Okay. This confirmation page, for the meantime, you have to hold on to by the time you get your admit cards. Now, we don't have a specific date on admit cards. When will you get your admit cards and all of that yet? University has, oh, sorry, CUET NTA has not declared that yet. But whenever you do, till then, you have to hold on to this page, right? Okay, so that was the process of application. I'll again take a minute's pause to check if there are any other questions or concerns so far. Any problems, any issues anybody has faced in the application filling process that they'd like me to address?
Okay, Ojsvi, so there are just a few questions. Most of them I'm pretty sure have got answered, but I'll just highlight a few of them. Ma'am, can you please share about reserved seats also? Is there any specific number of seats reserved for Northeast students? If yes, so what are the specific requirements in terms of documents? So that is one question.
Okay, so understand CUET is not really offering any seats. So there is no, I mean, there are no seats to be reserved under CUET, right? It depends if the university that you're applying to offers any certain kind of reservation or not. Okay. यूनिवर्सिटी आप सीयूईटी का एग्जाम दे देंगे, उसके बाद आप यूनिवर्सिटी के पास अपना सीयूईटी का स्कोर लेकर जाएंगे कि दिस वाज माय स्कोर, नाउ गिव मी अ सीट. ओके, इट डिपेंड्स. गवर्नमेंट यूनिवर्सिटीज एवरीवेयर ऑल अक्रॉस इंडिया विल हैव 50% reservation. Now depending on which minority you belong to, how much percentage of reservation is provided to you in that particular university, it will depend on that. Under CUET, you only have the option to fill categories as PWD, General, SC/ST. That only matters in case of fee. Okay, so if during your fees payment, it will ask you for those certifications, then yes, you'll have to provide that. Apart from that, any reservation only matters if there were seats. So CUET is not guaranteeing or offering any seats. It's just an exam. It's a platform to conduct or create exam. You'll give the exam and then it's the university's matter if they're offering you the seat, then if it is under reservation or not, or this, all of that will come there. I hope that answers. Other,
Yes, Ojsvi. So yeah, and so just to add on, you can check the universities that have any such
yeah,
quotas and the requirements in terms of any documents. So Ojsvi, I
always.
think that's all for now.
Okay, sure. All those information will be on university's website only then, where you are applying. Okay. All right. So that was the application process. Now moving on to the exam, what the exam pattern would be, what the exam is going to look like, the CUET 2025 examination. Section 1 will have language. Okay, section 1, as in the first paper or one of the exams, would be the language that you would have chosen. Again, 50 questions, all 50 questions are compulsory. 60 minutes will be given to complete the questions. Then domain specific, where you will choose 3 or 4 domain specific subjects over here. Then in that case, again, 50 questions all have to be attempted in 60 minutes per subject. Every single subject will have 50 questions. Keep that in mind. Then the general test. Now, usually the exams are not on the same day. Say you will have one exam on one day and then another exam on another. But all that scheduling, if you will get a slot in the morning or a slot in the afternoon, all of that, the scheduling will come from NTA or CUET only, and we don't have any clarity on that so far as of now. Okay. And exam scheme, we have already talked about +5 -1. Right answer, you get 5 marks. Wrong answer, you get 1 mark deducted. But overall, total 6 marks are being cut from your total, right? Keep that in mind. And oh yeah, also, all the questions will be MCQs. Okay, so pattern MCQ questions all around. Now, coming to subjects, this is the list of subjects that are available under CUET. The subjects that you can pick to give your exam, CUET exam in, right? Like there are 13 languages. There is English, Hindi, and then other 12 languages as well, which you can pick and choose to give your exam in. Apart from that, there are 23 domain subjects. Again, you can pick a few over here as well amongst your domain subjects. And then there is one general aptitude. Like I had said earlier, if let's say you do not see any specific language over here which you want to do a degree in, like again, let's say if Korean is not here and you want to do a BA in Korean language, then in that case, you can pick English here, give your domain subjects, pick a few domain subject and give the general aptitude test with it. The general aptitude test, as you can see over here, all the remaining languages, general aptitude test will be considered for them. Okay. I hope I'm making myself clear. So if you are planning to do any language which is not covered in the language list of CUET, make sure you're giving the general aptitude test. Now, the general aptitude test, what is it? Why is it important? Who is it for? Okay, this is a very burning question. I keep on people keep on asking. You would see for courses like business management, for courses like, if you're doing anything related to journalism, mass communication, you would usually see general aptitude as a requirement. But then again, this also depends on the university's requirement. Like, for example, again, BHU asks you to give the general aptitude test for their psychology course as well. So if you want to do a BA Psych from BHU, you'll have to give the general aptitude test, right? So it depends on university as well if they are needing general aptitude for any specific course, any specific subject or anything of that sort. Like for again, an example, BTech, IT and MI in Delhi University requires you to give the general aptitude test, which means you'll have to do mathematics, you'll have to give the general aptitude test, and languages also again is something that will be required. Keep in mind, do not skip language. Language, which is English mostly, is one of the areas which will be very important, very mandatory. So make sure language में से at least English तो आप pick कर ही रहे हैं. With that, let's say if you want to do a BA Hindi honors and the said university requires you to have Hindi in your CUET exam, then please do give Hindi as well. Then give Hindi and English both, और अपने domain में से फिर आप एक कम कर सकते हो. Right? So you'll have to mix and match that ways. Okay? All right. Now to prepare, NCERT books are the best way, would be the best reference. Again, syllabus, link for syllabus I have added here. We'll add in the description for this video as well. Please make sure you're going through all the content of every single subject that you're sitting for. Make sure the syllabus matches for what you are preparing for. One more thing before we move forward. For general aptitude, definitely do check the syllabus because it is something that you were not preparing for so far. It is not a CBSE exam, so you were not preparing for it. Overall, general aptitude mein you will see, this is where general aptitude mein overall you will see questions from logical reasoning, from quantitative reasoning, and from your general knowledge, from your general awareness, basically what is happening in and around you. Understand, general awareness is also current and static, right? There are some things which are which are permanent, which have already happened, like देश कब आजाद हुआ था, versus things that are happening, that are in movement right now. So you'll have to keep a check on both. Newspaper reading and all of that would be the best way to go about here. So quant, logical reasoning, and general knowledge, these three important sections when you're preparing for general aptitude test. Samarth, are there any questions?
Yes, there are two, three important
Yes.
questions. So, there's one student, Shrishti. She has, studied in Hindi medium.
Okay.
She has studied all her 12 subjects in Hindi medium, but subjects like economics, she has studied in English. So, her question is, what will be the medium of instruction of these, exam papers? Will it be bilingual, or they have to write only in English?
You first of all, you don't have to write. It'll be an MCQ based exam. Medium, सृष्टि मीडियम सिलेक्ट करने का ऑप्शन एक ही आता है. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि आप पेपर के लिए अलग अलग चूज कर पा रहे हैं मीडियम का ऑप्शन, कि ये पेपर आप इंग्लिश में देना चाहेंगे और ये पेपर हिंदी में, तो वो वाला ऑप्शन नहीं आ रहा है अभी. We'll have to check on that, but if you are comfortable with Hindi for all your subjects, then I would recommend going for Hindi as your medium overall. पेपर में कुछ लिखने का नहीं होगा, MCQ होंगे, विच यूल हैव टू पिक आउट ऑफ 4 ऑप्शंस, कौन सा ऑप्शन आपके लिए, आपके हिसाब से कौन सा ऑप्शन सही है, right? But I will still once again, this is a very important question again, Srishti. I'll still once again go back and check on this question. We can, in the chat box, Samarth, we can put my or your email ID or phone number or anything where Srishti can maybe reach out, right?
Sure.
Anybody who's, Srishti, if you are already listening, you can note down my phone number. It's 7703 819416. 7703819416. Or you can also reach out to the helpline which is available on the IDC website. Please do reach out to us. I'll check on this for you once again. But as the application that I have checked, they are not giving you the option to select medium for every single subject.
All right. So thanks, Ojsvi. So
Only
the
have one option to select medium for domain subjects. Okay, yes, sorry. Yeah.
So the next question is, I have a doubt regarding negative marking. Usually in entrance exams, only 1 mark is deducted. Never seen 6 marks deducted anywhere. So I think there is some confusion. You'd like to.
Okay. Nobody's okay. So लेट्स से 10 मार्क्स का एग्जाम है, 10 मार्क्स में आपको 2 क्वेश्चंस दिए गए हैं, ये 2 क्वेश्चंस के आपको 10 में से इवेल्युएट किया जाएगा, 10 में से 10 आपके आएंगे अगर आपके दोनों क्वेश्चन सही हैं, विच मीन्स ईच क्वेश्चन होल्ड्स अ वैल्यू ऑफ 5 मार्क्स, राइट? फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज 5 मार्क्स, सेकंड क्वेश्चन इज 5 मार्क्स. Okay, now you attempted both the questions. Okay, you attempted both the questions, both were right, so great, you got 10 out of 10. You attempted both questions. First was right, which means you got 5 marks for it. But the second question was wrong, which means 1 mark was even further deducted. So out of 10, now you have only 4 marks left in total. So that's how 6 marks you're losing. So that's what I was trying to clarify, because I do understand a lot of students ask this question. They do tend to tick all the answers thinking अगर सही हो गया तो 5 मिल जाएंगे, गलत के तो 1 ही कट रहा है. But technically total में से आप 6 marks lose करते हैं. So +5 -1 उसे बोला जाता है, but you're losing 6 marks in total. I hope I was able to clarify that.
Yes, thanks, Jasvi, on that. So now we have a few queries on subject selection. For example, Suti is asking how to decide which domain to drop among business studies, economics, accountancy, keeping maths, English, and GT compulsory. Right, and then there's another question on subject selection. For example, which subject should I choose for XYZ course? So we are getting these kind of
Okay.
queries now.
Okay. All of you who are asking these questions, first of all, I understand dropping which subject to drop can be an important question, given that all the subjects that you're studying in 12th grade, you find those subjects quite good and important. जो भी सब्जेक्ट आपको लगता है आपका वीकेस्ट है, यू कैन ड्रॉप दैट सब्जेक्ट एंड कीप द रेस्ट ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट्स विद यू. जो सब्जेक्ट्स एलिजिबिलिटी रिक्वायरमेंट हैं वो बिल्कुल ड्रॉप नहीं करने हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल डीयू से अगर आप बीएमएस विच इज बैचलर्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट स्टडीज पढ़ना चाहते हैं, यू हैव टू हैव मैथमेटिक्स इन CUET, right? Which means you'll have to give English, you'll have to give mathematics, and you'll have to give general aptitude as well. So 3 subjects तो यहीं पर ही लॉक हो गए. Which again, then you are right. अगर हमारे पास मैक्सिमम 5 सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्ट करने का ऑप्शन है तो 2 ही सब्जेक्ट्स आप और सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं. अकाउंटेंसी, बिजनेस स्टडीज, इकोनॉमिक्स, ये आपके 3 और सब्जेक्ट्स हैं इनमें से. तो राइट, सो इनमें से जो भी आपका सबसे वीक सब्जेक्ट है, यू कैन ड्रॉप दैट सब्जेक्ट एंड कीप द रेस्ट विद यू. Okay, because these subjects will overall impact your percentile and your admission to the college. So weakest subject will have to go. Eligibility subject has to be given priority preference first. Whichever course you are applying for, again, the questions where students are asking what subjects to pick for this course, what subjects to pick for that course, check universities, check university brochures. Depends on which university you're planning to pursue this course from. Are you talking about course from DU? Are you talking about this course from BHU? Are you talking about this course from Allahabad University? Which university, right? And then check the university's eligibility requirement, as in what are they needing you to have in CUET, then you give those exams. Okay, I hope that clears the doubt, right? I am getting this question also that say if you are wanting to keep more than one course options open for you, in that case also, if let's say there are 4 types of courses which you want to keep open for yourself, and for those 4 courses there are 4 different eligibility requirements. One says that you will have to have GAT, one says that you'll have to have physics, one says that you'll have to have this subject or the other. Keep all 4 eligibility subjects first and then the additional subject with you. Okay, all right.
Yes, there's one more question we'd like to take up from Rai. I'm planning to write computer science. In the syllabus, it is mentioned that there are sections A, B1, and B2. Do I have to attend both B1 and B2, or do I have a choice between them?
If you're checking it in syllabus, then you'll have to have all of them prepared. Then that means that question इनमें से कहीं से भी आ सकता है. You'll have to prepare all. There are no subsections of the domain subjects as of now that we know about. Syllabus में अगर आप देख रहे हैं तो syllabus में जितना भी आपको given है, you'll have to prepare for all. That's not an optional subject. Optional syllabus नहीं है उसमें कुछ भी. Right?
Also, there's one more
Yeah.
recurrent question. Is the general test, general aptitude test compulsory for DU?
Not compulsory for DU. It is compulsory for certain courses in DU. Mass communication, business management. Similarly, it is compulsory for certain courses in some other universities as well. General aptitude, you have the choice if you want to give or not give, but it is usually recommended for students who are looking at mass comm business management courses, because mostly universities ask you to have this as your paper in your CUET if you're planning to get into admission in these specific courses. So again, guys, I'm reiterating myself. Please check university brochures, their requirements for the courses as well. I understand too many moving pieces here. You have to go a lot of back and forth. That is why I'm saying visit the NTA website, and on it, visit the participating universities list. So at least you can shortlist a few universities. I'm coming to the tips part. I'll explain how this works. I'll explain the whole process as to how you can, you know, put the pieces together. Okay, can we move on then?
Sure, Ojsvi.
Yeah, all right. So I hope we have paused on this slide for quite some time. I hope you guys have had a chance to go through this. These are some of the links and websites where you can, find some information on how to prepare. You can have video lectures on YouTube. You can also reach out to certain, online or offline coaching if that is something that you're looking for. And of course, NCRT books and NTA website is something that you should definitely keep a check of. Now, coming to the tips and other information, this is what I was talking about, that I'll come to this part. The groundwork that needs to be done. Step one, you'll go to the NTA website. You will check your participating universities list. Participating universities list you will find on the NTA website. अब इस पार्टिसिपेटिंग यूनिवर्सिटी लिस्ट में से अपनी यूनिवर्सिटीज अलग शॉर्टलिस्ट करो. वहां पर 200 यूनिवर्सिटीज अगर पार्टिसिपेट करनी है तो आप 200 में इंटरेस्टेड नहीं है, आप अपनी स्टेट, सिटी या अपने हिसाब से कोई स्पेसिफिक सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी या कुछ और देख रहे हैं. अपनी यूनिवर्सिटीज की लिस्ट बनाइए, यूनिवर्सिटीज शॉर्टलिस्ट कीजिए. वंस यू हैव डन दैट, लेट्स से हमने 5 यूनिवर्सिटीज की लिस्ट बनाई, DU, जामिया, अंबेडकर, BHU, इलाहाबाद यूनिवर्सिटी. लेट्स से हमने 5 की लिस्ट बना ली. अब अपने कोर्सेज की लिस्ट दूसरी तरफ बनाइए, क्या क्या कोर्सेज में आप अप्लाई कर रहे हैं. लेट्स से यू आर अ फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, बायोलॉजी स्टूडेंट एंड यू आर अप्लाइंग फॉर बायोटेक्नोलॉजी, बॉटनी, जुओलॉजी, फिजियोलॉजी, इस तरह के कोर्सेज के लिए आप अप्लाई कर रहे हैं. अब चेक कीजिए आपने जो यूनिवर्सिटीज की लिस्ट बनाई है उनमें ये कोर्सेज फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हैं भी या नहीं है. इनमें से कौन कौन से कोर्सेज इन यूनिवर्सिटीज में अवेलेबल हैं. जहां आपको वो कोर्स दिख जाए उन यूनिवर्सिटीज में, वहां पर साथ में ही उनकी एलिजिबिलिटी भी लिखी होगी कि CUET में कौन कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स का एग्जाम देने पर आप इस कोर्स के लिए इस पर्टिकुलर यूनिवर्सिटी में एलिजिबल होंगे. सो अपनी कॉलेज कोर्स की लिस्ट पहले बनाइए, उसके बाद उसके सामने उनकी एलिजिबिलिटीज यू कैन राइट डाउन. Best way to go about this, how I'm working with my students as well. And again, I would suggest you as well make an Excel sheet, or if you're somebody who's more handy with a pen and paper, go ahead, do that. पेन पेपर पे एक टेबुलर फॉर्म में टेबल बनाइए, उसमें एक तरफ अपने यूनिवर्सिटीज, साथ उसके जस्ट साथ में कौन से कोर्सेज आप देख रहे हैं और उसके साथ उनके एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरियाज. 2 तरह के एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरियाज होंगे. एक, CUET में कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स चाहिए, दूसरा 12th में कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स चाहिए. दोनों एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरियाज लिख लीजिए और उसके बाद अपने सब्जेक्ट्स आप शॉर्टलिस्ट कर पाएंगे कि CUET में आपको किस किस सब्जेक्ट का एग्जाम देना ही देना है. आई होप दैट हेल्प्स. सो स्टेप वाइज चलिए, यूनिवर्सिटी लिस्ट, अपने कोर्सेज शॉर्टलिस्टिंग, वो सब करने के बाद उनकी एलिजिबिलिटी चेक कीजिए. आई होप दैट आंसर्स द क्वेश्चन वेयर अ लॉट ऑफ यू हैव बीन आस्किंग कि इस कोर्स के लिए कौन सा सब्जेक्ट है, इस कोर्स के लिए कौन सा सब्जेक्ट रिक्वायर्ड होगा. राइट?
Yes,
Okay.
I would also like to add that I have just now shared a link on the chat box. आप इस link पे जाइए and you will be able to see the list of universities that are, accepting CUET, like Ojsvi was showing. There are central universities, state universities. So you can just go and check for each university, and under each university you will have a lot of courses, right? For each of those courses you can just go and check what are the eligibility requirements, right? So go and read on that. If there are certain references, for example, in some places it's written that for a course like BMS you need to appear for one subject from list B1 or B2. If there are any sort of references that you find there like this, what you need to do is go to the university's website and look for the information bulletin. Right? In the information bulletin, you will find certain sections. You can just do a quick walkthrough of the index Ojsvi, right?
Yeah.
So there you can find a list. So I think we can take Delhi University as an example, and that will really help clear the confusion on this.
Okay, sure. Towards the end, I'll definitely open one up, and I completely agree with Samarth on this point. पार्टिसिपेटिंग यूनिवर्सिटी लिस्ट आप एनटीए की वेबसाइट पे चेक कर सकते हैं, बट मेरा रेकमेंडेशन आपको यही है कि एलिजिबिलिटी और रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफिशियल यूनिवर्सिटी की खुद की वेबसाइट पर जाकर चेक कीजिए, बिकॉज वी आर सीइंग सर्टेन डिस्क्रिपेंसीज between what NTA's website is posting for certain eligibilities and what the official university website is posting. In these cases, we always rely with official university website circulars. Okay. जैसे कि डीयू ने अपना नोटिफिकेशन अपना सर्कुलर निकाला है, ऐसे ऑल यूनिवर्सिटीज आर रिलीजिंग देयर ओन नोटिफिकेशंस एंड सर्कुलर्स. सो check the participating university list on NTA website, shortlist universities from there, visit the university website, official university website, and then shortlist your courses and their eligibility from over there. All right. Okay. Towards the end, of course, I'll walk you through one of such example, either DU or some other university too. Okay. Now this is just a brief on what things you can carry in the examination center. Your admit card, which will be very important. Okay. With that, there will be a self-declaration, which will be available on the NTA website when you are close to going to give your exam. Admit card or self-declaration, dono are very important and should be with you when you enter the examination center. The pen has to be a transparent pen. Same photograph that you have uploaded, you have to have that photograph for your attendance sheet as well. So you need to carry that. Any valid photo ID, once again, I'm mentioning, make sure the photo ID is updated. Okay. PWD certificate, if it is applicable for you. And if you're somebody who is diabetic, then in that case, you can carry your sugar tablets or fruits as well. Okay. And candidates, according to the website, are advised to report the examination center at least 2 hours before the exam starts. Okay. Then things which are not allowed, which you cannot carry inside. In that case, study material, of course, electronics, your phones, Bluetooth devices, any of that is not allowed. Accessories are not allowed. Outside food and drinks are not allowed. Any unfair means, any, microchips, cameras, Bluetooth, all of that is strictly banned. For footwear, you cannot wear shoes, like proper shoes आप नहीं पहन सकते हैं. You are either in your slippers or your low heel sandals or something like that. Open toed, basically. Nothing, no shoes, no fully covered shoes. For clothing, again, heavy long sleeved clothing is not allowed. If you are somebody who's in any cultural attire or who prefers going in cultural attire, for example, if you're someone who wears a hijab or a burqa, in that case, you're recommended to arrive an hour or so earlier so that your frisking and all of that your checking can be done much earlier to avoid problems for you and for other candidates as well. Okay, so please make sure your clothing, be aware of that. And by the time we reach this exam time, the weather will be even hot. So you're not wearing long sleeve clothes anyway by then. So keep that in mind. All right. Now, coming to university requirements, the question which we are getting asked again and again. Starting with Delhi University, admissions will completely be based on one very, very important thing. CUET is just a medium in examination in between for you to reach the university. Okay. CUET का form भरना is not a guarantee of Delhi University में admission मिलना. आपका जब CUET का एग्जाम हो जाएगा, you will be close to the result. उस टाइम पर हर यूनिवर्सिटी अपने काउंसलिंग पोर्टल्स ओपन करेगी. जैसे DU का CSAS अपना काउंसलिंग पोर्टल है, ऐसे ही अदर प्राइवेट एज वेल एज सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटीज के अपने अपने काउंसलिंग पोर्टल्स ओपन होंगे. आपको उनके फॉर्म्स भी भरने पड़ेंगे। सो सीयूईटी इज नॉट अ ओनली फॉर्म कि ये भर दिया तो बस यूनिवर्सिटी में हो ही जाएगा। आपने देखा होगा अभी जब हम फॉर्म डिस्कस कर रहे थे, इस साल सीयूईटी में यूनिवर्सिटी सिलेक्शन का भी ऑप्शन नहीं है, बिकॉज इट वाज रिडंडेंट एनीवे, क्योंकि इसके बाद आपको यूनिवर्सिटीज में अलग से अप्लाई करना है। थिंक ऑफ इट जस्ट लाइक दिस, पहले कुछ साल पहले तक आप ट्वेल्थ के एग्जाम्स देते थे, उसके बाद जो आपके ट्वेल्थ में मार्क्स आए वो मार्क्स ले जाकर आप अलग अलग यूनिवर्सिटीज में अप्लाई करते थे, राइट? अब सिर्फ डिफरेंस ये है, आप वो ट्वेल्थ के मार्क्स प्लस अपना सीयूईटी का स्कोर लेकर जाते हैं यूनिवर्सिटीज के वेबसाइट्स पर, उनके अपने फॉर्म्स और उनके काउंसलिंग प्रोसेसेस में आप इनरोल करने के लिए खुद को। Okay, so nowhere, no private or government university will entertain if you have not filled their own separate admission forms after the CUET exam is done. All right, I hope I'm making myself clear here. One more piece of information I want to give here. अगर कोई ऐसी यूनिवर्सिटी है जो अपना एग्जाम भी कंडक्ट कर रही है एंड दे आर सेइंग दैट दे विल टेक CUET scores as well. I'll give an example. Amity does that. Shiv Nadar does that. And IP University, which is Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University in Delhi. I'm specifically talking about Delhi right now. If you have questions about other universities, we can check that too. Um, all these universities say that they are conducting their own entrance exams, but they're also accepting CUET scores. आपको दोनों में अप्लाई करना है, because these universities have clear guidelines that if during their own entrance exams all the seats are filled, they might not open up seats after the CUET registration. Okay, it's as simple as that. The remaining seats which are not filled in their entrance exams are usually the ones which open up in CUET, right? That's what happens at IP University. That's what had happened at Shiv Nadar last year as well. Okay, you definitely keep CUET in mind, but give IP University's own entrance as well, or Shiv Nadar's own entrance as well. Sit for respective university entrances too if they have one. Okay, because these entrances will happen much earlier than your CUET exams, so chances of seats getting filled by the time you get your CUET results are much higher. So if there's any such university on your radar, please make sure you're filling their separate entrances too. Now coming to Delhi University, like I said, admissions will completely and only be based on CUET scores. And of course, your 12th class, you have to have passed your 12th, have to submit your 12th marks as well. Subject requirements are available on the DU brochure. And then program specific criteria as well. You have to make sure you are meeting the program specific criteria. And seat allocation, like I said, CSAS, this will be the counseling portal or the website which you will go to after your CUET exam to apply to the university itself, right? Similarly for Jamia, now for those of you who are looking at Jamia, not all of the courses of Jamia are under CUET. These specific ones which I have mentioned over here are the courses, only courses which you can get admission into through CUET. Apart from that, all the other courses, they either take their own entrance exam, like for psychology and so on, psychology, political science, etc. Even journalism, Jamia has its own entrance exam. For their BTech or their architecture courses, they take JEE or NATA score. For their BDS dental courses, they take NEET scores. Okay. So again, you'll have to visit Jamia's official website and look into the prospectus to see, again, the prospectus link is over here as well. Look into the prospectus to see which kind of courses are available under CUET and which courses you'll have to sit separately for an exam for. All right. And then some other central universities as well. We have attached these. I'll open one of these brochures. I'll open DU only. I'll stop sharing my screen and share again. Just give me 1 second. Okay. All right. I hope my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, Ojsvi, it's visible.
All right. So this is this year's information bulletin from Delhi University, which we were seeing the link of on our slide, right? Like a lot of you were asking, so I'll just give you a quick example. So on this, you will find all the courses that you might be interested in. Like, let's say you want to study history from Delhi University, you want to do BA history honors. In this case, they have specified you need to have any one language and any three subjects from list B. Now, somebody who was earlier asking me if they can just give the GAT and the English, in that case, all your other options of history, pol science, and everything else will close, right? All universities ask you to at least have 3 or 4 subjects in total, right? So any one language, it can be English. If you're comfortable with Hindi, it can be Hindi as well. Or if you're comfortable with any other language, you can pick that. And this can have any three subjects, right? There is no specification that you have to have history only. So you can have, let's say you had pol science and geography in school, and you felt comfortable with, say, psychology, you can give all three of those subjects and set for history. I'll show you something which has specific guidelines like a BSc course, right over here. Now, in this, you see, they're specifically asking you to sit for chemistry, physics, biology. And if somebody has studied biotech or biochemistry, then in that case, that these three are the compulsory exams that you have to sit for if you're interested in doing a BSc in biomedical, right? Or a BSc in biochemistry. In that case as well, you have to have a यहाँ पर physics, chemistry, and biology. You have to have these subjects if you're planning to do these, right? So I hope this clarifies the question that you were asking. These information bulletins are available on official websites of the universities. And of course, you can find out the list of participating universities from the NTA website. We'll attach all the links in our description as well. And we are again open to questions, doubts, concerns, any confusions, anything that you think we might have missed out on, and you'd like it to be addressed.
Yes, Ojsvi. So there's one question. What if, the CUT exam papers clash with some of the other entrance exams, such as IP MAT or any individual university exam? Oh,
They will not, usually, because other universities and other national level entrance exams do understand that CUET is a major exam, and अभी तक तो नहीं हुआ है. They tend to shift or change their dates if CUET is clashing with it. But in case if you think कोई private university का national level exams clash नहीं होंगे, because usually NTA is the governing body for national level exams. Even if, let's say, IP MAT जैसा exam जो है वो भी they take care of these things. If any private university misses out on that, then in that case, you can reach out to them over email, and they all consider this. So this is something which you should not have to worry about.
all right. Thanks, Ojsvi. Now there is just a few questions. I'm writing English. Can I choose Malayalam, which I learned in 12th, as one out of the three of the domain subjects?
Yeah, you can. If you want to choose to, you are free to do that. If you want to keep two languages, but domain में से फिर आपका एक सब्जेक्ट कम हो जाएगा, राइट? अगर आपने दो लैंग्वेजेस चूज कर लिए हैं तो आप डोमेन में से फिर तीन ही सब्जेक्ट और ले सकते हैं. जैसे अभी हमने देखा, हिस्ट्री के लिए रिक्वायरमेंट है 3 डोमेन सब्जेक्ट्स की, राइट? सो आपको फिर टोटल 5 सब्जेक्ट्स का पेपर देना पड़ेगा. यू कैन पिक 2 लैंग्वेजेस और 3 लैंग्वेजेस एज वेल, बट फिर वो सब्जेक्ट टोटल तो आप 5 ही ले सकते हैं ना, फिर वो आपको डोमेन में से कम करना पड़ेगा.
All right. So if anyone has any queries, just feel free to put it in the chat. And Ojasvi, I would ask you to, close the session accordingly.
Sure. All right. Great. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. A very good evening to all of you. We do hope we were able to clarify some doubt, some confusion around the whole application process, and we hope that you have a smooth application process moving on. You do have helpline numbers on the on IDC website as well. Please feel free to use that, and there are Q&A features as well. You can just drop down your queries, and we'll reach out to you. Thank you so much, Samarth, for hosting the session. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you. So I'll just, share our helpline number with all of you. So you can reach out to us on this number, and our counselors will always be there to answer your queries. Thank you so much, Ujasvi, for a wonderful session. And thank you to our students and teachers and counselors. And we'll see you with another session soon. So some of the students, by the way, were asking, how will we know about CSAS portal of DU? So we'll most likely do another session on that when the time is right. So see you then. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Thanks.